Go.
All right. Good evening again, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. You're welcome. You're welcome to the EdTech webinar, and we're so excited to have you here. I know you love to see our beautiful faces. You can see Miss Lena's face, very beautiful, according to our Gen Z language, very demure, right, Miss Lena? You can
Hi.
see Miss Nika, she's prepared, ready, 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 and waving. Thank you so much, ma'am. So we'll kickstart right away. We'll be having our first speaker and our first presenter for today, Miss Janet Oguyemi, Teacher Janet. She's a passionate advocate for science education. She's driven to inspire and empower students to explore the wonderful natures of science. She's dedicated to demystifying complex scientific concepts, making them accessible and engaging for students of diverse backgrounds and abilities. Her approach to learning is centered on creating a supportive and inclusive learning environment. Wow, beautiful. Where students feel encouraged to ask questions, challenge assumptions, and embrace curiosity. Every student is a definition of the next generation. Therefore, quality education should be given to build productive and self reliant individuals. Also, she has an NSC and a B Bachelor of Education qualification, and also with her master's and PhD in view. Oh my God, what a profile! So, with a resounding clap, let's welcome Teacher Janet Goyemi as she takes over. Teacher Janet, over to you, please.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
It's
evening.
nice to be here. I welcome you all to today's webinar, and I must commend Mama for this opportunity given unto us. Um, Today we will be looking at a very big title at this very time that we have teachers, tutors, educators, school administrators, and people within and outside the educational setting need this at this very time. So I come with EdTech bringing technology into the classroom. Can you all hear me?
Yes, I can
So
hear you.
permit me to share my screen. Can you all see my screen?
I'm seeing it now.
Yeah. In the time past, um, we all know that we conduct our teaching and learning process through face-to-face interaction and printed textbooks. So we tend to follow what has been written by authors and other people. And in this 21st century that we have, with the help of the technology, which has helped to transform so many sectors, not exempting education. So the use of this technology has fosters a good relationship, connection, collaboration, and it has also improved engagement and personalized learning with students, teachers, and others. Okay, during the era of COVID-19, we all know that school stopped activities and people were being forced to stay at home. So, with the help of this COVID-19 pandemic, I must say this COVID-19 pandemic also helped us because is an eye opener. So it opens our eyes to the use of technological device that can help us to facilitate learning and that can make learning continuous. So with this, with COVID-19 issue, so tutors, educators are given privilege to make use of technological skills that will foster continuous learning. Having said that too, we all know that, or if we don't know, that educational technology it refers to approach that helps to make use of digital tools that will enhance student academic performance, even beyond the classroom settings. And also, we have various ways by which we can integrate technology into education. We have e-learning platforms. These e-learning platforms include Google Classroom, modules, which can help to facilitate learning. Even it even give back to evaluation, feedback, so as to know if students are on the right track or not. Then we also have interactive learning tools. These interactive learning tools include like our devices such as tablets, smart projector. If you look, if you have a 8-year-old boy, when you give him phone to operate, the way we operate the phone, you as an adult, you'll be surprised. In fact, you will even wonder that who has taught this boy how to operate this phone, to tell you that we are now in technological era. So whatsoever we are doing, to let us know that students of nowadays, in fact, the way God has helped them, or the way they are learning, is at very fast level. Also, we have personalized learning. This personalized learning include the help of artificial intelligence, AI. There was a time, maybe some days ago, I was talking about a webinar that I attended, a class that I had, that web, you know, they were saying, okay, now that we are in the era of artificial intelligence, does that mean that human labor will be eradicated or it will be stopped? But let me tell us this, that with the help of artificial intelligence, learners, students, educators can also learn, and this doesn't stop human effort, rather it boosts human effort. Then we also have data analysis, whereby computing data, collecting data. Back then, that when we want to collect data, though we still make use of structure questionnaire, focus group discussion, or what have you, but today we can make use of cobalt collect to get our data. We can also make use of GIS to also get our data. Then we have distance learning. Even if we are not together, we can learn at our own space. We can learn at our own convenient time, because online classes has also helped us in improving our learning skills. We have different types of educational technology. We have contemporary and non-contemporary educational technology. The contemporary educational technology refers to face-to-face interaction that we have the teacher and we have the learner. But the non-contemporary educational technology is making use of audio or video courses. Then we also have online textbook that are well written. Then we also have vertical learning. It's also a type of educational technology. This include computer-based training that we make use of. Now, today, most questions or most evaluation are computer-based training tests that will help students so as to know whether what they have been taught, maybe they understood or not. Also, we also have peer learning. Peer learning is learning with different kind of groups, at your own space, people that are within your environment or outside. You can also learn with them, and this will also help you to improve your skills. Also, this educational technology has helped teachers a lot. I must tell us, this has really helped us a lot, because even in our closet, we can start imparting to our learners. We can impart. We can also evaluate. We can also evaluate the performance. Be it we can open just a group for them, like Google Classroom, where we send in assignments and we instruct them to send back their results, and thereby we also evaluate, and we can also give scores, assign scores, then make reinforcements, positive or negative. And the most positive one, we also help students to do better so that it can push them in doing more things. Thank you. Having said that too, um, this educational technology will also help both students and teachers in giving room for them to become or to get involved in remote and hybrid learning. As we are in Nigeria, let me tell us that we can also teach students that are abroad. I know of most tutors that they teach students that are outside Nigeria. And how does this occur? It is through the help of technology that has given them the opportunity to work in hand and to also give them a process whereby they can do well in imparting learners within and outside their environment. Permit me to introduce the next speaker. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. That was a beautiful one. Thank you so much. While you were speaking, something struck my attention when you said you were you had a reflection if technology, AI and all of that is going to replace teachers. And I was like, will that even be possible for technology to replace teachers? How about the human?
I'm no longer hearing. What's the issue?
It's like the network threw her out.
Okay, start. Okay, I think she rejoined. I think we have to be patient.
All right, the next speaker, please. The next speaker,
Hello.
please, can you go on?
Hello, can we hear me?
Okay, Miss Praise is back.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
we
Oh,
can
I'm
hear
so
you.
sorry about that. Thank you, ma'am. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, we'll be having our next speaker. I'll just read out her bio and you help me with a clapping ovation. Unika Okafo, popularly known as Oak 4. Wow. She has an MSc degree in physics and a Bachelor of Science in Physics too. Wow. With over 2 decades in education, a school coordinator, a Cambridge learner manager, teacher trainer, and STEM enthusiast. She specializes in Cambridge curriculum and cares so much about school improvement. So, LinkedIn for Teachers 5.0 and everyone present with a resounding ovation. Can we welcome Okpo? You're welcome, Ma.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. And a special one to our coach that is fishing at finish. The fact she has swept us out of our homes. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I don't take it for granted. Okay, thank you to the first speaker that has laid a good foundation. So I will take it from there by sharing my screen immediately. Thank you. Please, once you start seeing it, just kindly let me know. Thank you.
Yeah, we can see it, ma'am.
You can see it. Okay, that's fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so I'm taking it on this aspect of looking at the benefits and the challenges of EdTech.
Oh, I can't see it. Please.
How many people can see it, please?
I think if you can see it, I think it's your network. Network does that.
Coach, you're seeing
I can
it?
see it.
Yeah, please, if you
I
can see
can.
it, say I can see it.
No,
I can see
no,
you.
I can see.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, network can sometimes mess things up, but the
I
the
can
the,
see
the
it.
good thing about it is that since we have all put this together, at the end of the day, we can all have it. I think I can go on from here, sure.
Yes, ma'am, please.
All right. So we're looking at benefits and challenges of edutech. All right. So it is very important to remind ourselves that the learning landscape has actually revolutionized. EdTech is very, very good for us. We are all witnessing it. If not for EdTech, we will not be here tonight. If not for EdTech, I wouldn't have known Coach Rahina. Neither would I have known any of you fantastic colleagues from different parts of the nation and even some from outside this nation. So it has brought opportunities to us, and at the same time, it has its own challenges. And these are what we are going to be looking at tonight. Okay, so let's look at some benefits of EdTech before we can now look at the flip side of it. All right, so the first one is accessibility. The first speaker also mentioned it.
I can see it now.
Can you see it? Are we together?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the first one
Yeah,
Yes,
is
I can
ma'am.
see it now. Yeah, very well.
thank you. The first one is accessibility. So EdTech has broken down geographical barriers, so it provides opportunities globally. The first speaker mentioned it, for wherever we are, we can connect, we can do our educational business. So there's no more barrier. Even if you have never entered a flight before, you will be flying inside your house to reach whoever you want to reach through EdTech. The next point is personalization. With EdTech, we can adapt educational content and tailor it to individual learning spaces and styles. We can push materials to our learners. Some of us, we have done so many CPDs, many thanks to EdTech. We stay at the comfort of our homes, or you could be on traffic going home from work. You just access educational materials from any part of the world just on the palm of your hand. So it is personalized because you can learn at your pace. You can do exam, maybe you didn't do well, they say you must get up to 70% and you're not getting that, you can repeat it. So that opportunity is about personalization. The next point is efficiency. Automation that EdTech has brought enables teachers to focus more on engaging with learners and providing that personalized instruction. The first speaker mentioned something like Google Classroom. No matter what happens, Google Classroom is still very, very rich because you can form your questions and then distribute it to your learners. You can make them to all be answering questions, and from wherever you are seeing them writing. In fact, myself as a school coordinator, most of the things I do it online. I just put stuff online and invite my colleagues. As they're reporting to me, I am seeing what they are doing. I am reporting back. So for me, it brings that efficiency that we don't need to sit down together and have meetings or rub minds or work on one material or the other. We all work simultaneously from anywhere we are, thanks to EdTech. Are you seeing the next slide, please? Are you seeing my next slide?
I can't see it from my end, ma'am.
Okay, who is seeing it? Anyone seeing it?
Yes,
Yes, I can see it. Yes, I can see
Okay.
it.
Okay, I think sometimes,
yes, I can see
yeah,
it.
thank you. Some people can experience some lag. Yeah, it
Engagement.
might take a little bit time to get to you. Depends on your network. So the fourth one we are looking at is engagement. How has EdTech brought engagement? It is through the tools and platforms. You can see this little girl here smiling. There's no human being we can see around her, but she's fully engaged thanks to EdTech tools. So that can help in bringing experiential learning through simulations and interactive case studies. And this will help in bridging the gap between theory and practice. The next one is resource availability. Through EdTech, teachers can make learning materials available online. They can also support their learners in time. So when materials are made available to learners online, it means anytime the learners need such materials, they can easily reach these materials. They don't have to wait until they meet with their teachers. So that is the good thing that EdTech has brought to us, making resources available. The next is collaboration. Our first speaker also mentioned that with our educational digital tools, collaboration is everywhere. What we are doing here now, I can see that is also a kind of collaboration. All the while our coach has been putting us through, I've never seen her, but she has been pushing us from wherever she is, and we have all been responding. We are able to come together, come to an agreement up to this point, and we are producing something very, very good tonight because of collaboration. And that is what EdTech has done for us. Imagine we don't have anything like EdTech. How would we have done it? It will take us quite a while. Next thing we are looking at is cost effective. EdTech is cost effective. How? Through digital textbooks and even some open educational resources, which we call OER, the cost of education can be reduced significantly. When I teach some of the learners, because I'm a Cambridge learner manager, most of the time my learners, most of them are abroad, though some are here. But those abroad, what I notice about them is that they don't even have physical textbooks anymore. They don't have them. They have digital textbook. I will just ask them, they give me their login details. I will log in and the textbook will open to me and we will be doing our work. So that has reduced the cost of educational materials. Next point is the innovation in teaching methods. We know there's something called the virtual reality. Virtual reality. In fact, the first time I experienced it, it was like out of this world. So this thing can be possible. And all these things are to enhance understanding and also retention and making learning worthwhile. You know, during those days in the past, we could be imagining so many things. Some of them will not make sense to us because we didn't actually come close to them. And that will result in people cramming so many stuff that a child can pass the exam without really understanding the content of the subject. The next point, are we still together, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. The next point is the environmental impact of EdTech. EdTech decreases the need for physical infrastructure. And then this means that consumption in energy is reduced. Resources used for building maintenance is also reduced. These days, many teachers, if you come to LinkedIn, many teachers say, an online teacher. In fact, there was a time we wanted to hire a teacher in our school, and the guy was pleading that we give him 1 day off. Some people did not understand it, but I asked him, why do you want 1 day out of school every week? He said, because on that very day, he has a number of learners he's teaching, and they are in different parts of the world with a different time zone from Nigeria. People find it difficult to understand, but I understood it. And I'm thinking that in the future, that will be allowed. Why can't we be flexible? If he works, how much will school pay him to take care of himself? Then he lets him stay 1 day off, stay at home and make more money online. By that, he can have a balanced life, Yes. So these days, in fact, I can't even go to somebody's house to teach. Once you're not going to accept me delivering online, then that's the end of the business. Because if I have to enter my car to drive from one spot to another one, I have to put my fuel. I have to expose myself to danger on Nigerian road, and I have to waste my time on the road. So that transit time, staying at home, that cuts cost for me and cost the fuel I would have burnt in my car. Of course, we know in Nigeria what fuel costs. All right. Are we together still?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so having taken a look at
Yes,
the
yeah.
very, very good side, can we also rub our minds on some challenges we might have with EdTech? Anything good is also likely to have some other side, lower side of it. So there's no doubt that EdTech has its challenges. Let us discuss some of them. Yes, are you see my slide, please?
Yes, ma'am. I can.
Thank you very much. So number one is there is this disparity in technology. Disparity in technology. Why EdTech brings its widespread access to education, we cannot remove the fact that there's still that digital divide where with students in underprivileged areas because they lack the necessary devices and they also lack high-speed internet. Imagine our colleague last night scheduled a meeting, went ahead to call people one-on-one, but he couldn't make it. Not because he didn't want to be here, but because the internet affected him. Are you seeing it? So all the ideas we shared yesterday, he was feeling he wasn't feeling good about it because he couldn't join, but he wanted actually to join. So how much more when it comes to learners? So there's always that digital device. Why some people are going higher, getting used to the technology that comes by the seconds, not even daily. Other people are still yet to know about what technology is all about. Okay, let's look at another one, which is the screen time. There's no doubt that prolonged screen exposure is linked to some issues. Research has shown that issues like eye strain, even as adults, we experience that. Sleep disturbances, some children will go into their rooms with their devices and they wake up with swollen eyes. What happened? They say, I did not sleep early. So what were you doing? Engrossed in their technology. There's decreased physical activity. Yes, even with our video games, you see some young people, they just sit down after eating, just pressing the button and laughing with almost nobody. So there's that need for a balance. All right, let's go to the next one. Now, there's a concern when it comes to privacy and security. And this is where schools and EdTech providers must invest heavily in cybersecurity measures because of data protection. When I look at this, I laugh a little bit. Why? I remember those days growing up, some people will say, oh, if someone gets your picture, we take you to Babalawo and they will see you in their mirror or in their water. And once they see you, they stab you, you die. These days, I'm wondering, all of us, we are now projecting ourselves online, bringing our pictures online. So any Babalawo can now go online and take as many pictures as he wants. So that will tell us that maybe that thing we are thinking in the past was not actually happening. These days we project ourselves, but we are concerned when it comes to data protection that needs to be protected. All right. Now, depersonalization. EdTech can lead to this, where emphasis on technology over human interaction diminishes the teacher-learner relationship. I remember those days, our colleague mentioned COVID-19, which we are all aware. Yes, sometimes you receive your learners in the classroom, they will log on, but you might not see them. They can log on and start doing something else and start chatting with their friends. So that
Hmm.
requires monitoring. It requires monitoring, okay, so that we don't lose that teacher-learner relationship. Though technology is doing a lot to also bridge that gap, but we need to be very careful about that. All right. Are we still together, people?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So
Yes.
over reliance on technology. This can undermine fundamental skills like what? Like spellings, like basic arithmetic. Every little thing, they're using the calculator or they use their device, check it out. If you're working with a child, you say, oh, does your device have a calculator? Oh, that will just do the job. And spell check everywhere. Google is your friend. Now you can speak into it and it gives you all the answers you want. So we are concerned that this might undermine some fundamental learning skills, which are also very important to us as humans. So the next one is technical issues. This one is very, very familiar to all of us. All of us. There will always be that technical difficulties. And when it comes up, it can impact teaching and impact learning. And this will lead to loss in instructional time and also frustration. Imagine you have to deliver a lesson online and your system decides to just behave itself somehow, or your internet provider decides to remember you in a special way. It can be very frustrating. Or even our power holding, they can decide to hold their power, then everything comes down, or your device is not well recharged and it just goes off on you. So this can result to loss of instructional time as well as frustration, both on the part of the teachers and on the part of the learners. I experience this when I teach people abroad. They don't have that much patience like home learners, and they don't understand that internet could fluctuate in this part of Nigeria, in this part of the world. So they will tell you, oh, that's, they're not patient. They think you're intentionally disconnecting, not knowing that it is a technical issue that you're experiencing. So this is a kind of challenge. Let's look to the other one. Cost implication. EdTech is beautiful, but it has its cost implication. Are we together?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Especially in less affluent areas. Obtaining EdTech requires fund. Maintaining it requires fund. So we can't run away from the fact that some people cannot afford this. And when they can't afford it, we don't even have to blame them. So as some people are going higher, some other people are still aiming to start even from the fundamentals. So this is still a barrier. Let's look at the other one, teacher training. As more edutech tools and apps are coming out every day, we need to train teachers, or teachers need to train themselves to be abreast with the latest technology that they can use. I know that there was a big challenge during COVID because everybody was forced to go and start learning something. Before, we didn't take most of them serious. We were relying on something like Skype and the rest of them. I don't know how many people are still using Skype these days. My Skype account is just there because we have other ones that are even easier to use. So the innovations in EdTech requires that teachers continuously undergo CPDs to be abreast. All right. There could also be pedagogical challenges. How? If we don't have a clear strategy of how to use technology, then there might be that risk of using technology for technology's sake rather than as a tool to improve educational outcomes. I will give you an example. We have a new hire in my school, and this teacher is not in tune with technology at all. We insisted every class has smart board. You must use it. But this teacher is so afraid of doing anything called computer. So make it an effort. You go to the class, we use her phone and get something and give learners to be reading. I said, no, that's against the school rule. You can't even use your phone in the class. Talk less of giving your learners the phone to read stuff from. Are you seeing? This is what a kind of challenge. And that's why if we want to be there, we have to step up every day. Our coach was almost crying out loud the other day that she needs CPD. She doesn't know which one to do. And we are all making our contributions. All right. So the next one, are we together, people?
Yes, ma. Here.
Thank you. So the last one
Yes,
from
ma'am.
me, the last one from me says learner distraction. I'm sure we are all aware of that. It's not only learner distraction, the teacher can also be distracted. We know that some teachers have been caught in some schools where they ought to be doing something substantial, but they were engrossed in their tech, doing something. It might not be related to school. So everybody has to watch out for that. It's not only for young people. When we talk, we tend to be focusing on the young people or on the learners. Adults can also experience distraction when it comes to technology. Okay, so last words from me. In all we do with EdTech, a balance is suggested. We need a balance. In as much as we acknowledge the transformative power of EdTech, it is worth considering the critical concerns it brings to the educational dialogue. So we look at it both ways, the ups and the lows. With that, we need to strike a balance in our use of EduTech. And with those words, I say thank you very much. And I have to acknowledge where I got most of my materials from. I adapted most of my materials from this digital defin. That's where I got most of my materials. So you can check them out and get rich materials. Thank you very much.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so
Thank you,
much,
ma'am.
teacher
Thank
Thank
Oko.
you
you.
very much.
Such energy in the room. Thank you. Can we celebrate her, please? Let me see our clapping emoji pouring in. I want to see more. I want to
Thank
see
you.
more, 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 more. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. She did justice to this. At a point, I was
Thank
like,
you.
EdTech is beautiful. And I wish it didn't have challenges. I just wish it was all benefits, benefits. But she said something about balance, and
Yes.
that's something we should imbibe. It has its benefits. I
Yes.
remember a friend of mine about 2 weeks ago. She just came on board and she was like, on Allison, I just got a new course, this, and I'll be certified. Hey, girls, go and check it out. And I'm like, wow. I also went ahead to check out Allison, enrolled for some courses that I'm currently taking, and it has been beautiful. All thanks to EduTech. Okay, we'll be moving on to the next speaker. If you're still in the room, can you just do something? Send an emoji. Let's see. Oh, Mama Hina said everything that has an advantage also has a disadvantage, including edutech. Wow. Thank you. I see your emoji coming in. So we're having the next speaker, a very, very beautiful teacher and educator, Teacher Lena Ezekiel. She's a lover of nature, and you get to know why. A TRCN registered teacher, an IGCSE Cambridge biology teacher, that's why, and one that is constantly finding ways to improve herself. She's currently the vice principal of African International College Abuja, training teachers and impacting the lives of students and their parents. So with a resounding ovation, let's welcome teacher Lena Ezekiel. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening.
Good
Good
evening, ma'am.
evening.
Okay, so thank you to all those that previously were presented, and mine is more like a recap of what they have done, especially with respect to the impact of EdTech in the education industry. So we are going to be looking at can you hear my screen?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I can
Okay,
see your screen. Thank you.
thank you very much for the feedback. So, like I said, we're looking at the impact. So when we say impact, we're looking at something that could be positive and it could also be negative. So briefly, I wouldn't take much of our time, but I'm going to hit the nail right in the head. So we're going to be looking at positive impact, negative impact, some key areas that we should focus on, and then we'll look at a few emerging trends. Then we'll talk about the future. What does the future have in store for us in EdTech, in the education industry? So let's start with a few statistics. Did you know, according to Pew Research, that 95% of teenagers have access to smartphones? I'm quite sure that even though in schools we don't allow children to come to school with it, to go back home to what their parents have given them. Even those in primary have smart tablets and stuff like that. So there's hardly a teen that doesn't have access to smartphone. Then about 60% of the students use online resources for homework based on the information gotten from Gallup. 60%. And we here in the education industry, we do give them a lot of homework. So even the parents, when they come back from work, they would rather release the children to the internet than have time to sit down and take care of the homework for them. If you agree with me, let me see your thumbs up. All right. And then currently, we know that in Nigeria, even though the schools are trying to, adopt EdTech, not all of them have fully migrated using EdTech. So we are using a lot of blended learning. So sometimes they use the internet, sometimes they don't, just flip classroom and stuff like that. So blended learning 50%. So we're getting there. If we are already 50%, then we'll get there finally. However, looking at this statistics from Edwick, that 40% of teachers report inadequate training according to Edwick. It means that whatever we're doing here, I'm quite sure that a lot of us are learning from it. And we all agree that we all have a need to keep improving ourselves in what we call training, teacher training development. So let's look at a few impacts. There are many, there are many. I'm just reserving my, uh, I'm just, sticking to my own time. So we have enhanced engagement and motivation. When the child is used to staying in the class and just listening, and there is no form of motivation, there is no form of engagement using technology, of course, you will lose that child. But thank God for technology. They have access to videos, they have access to interactive platforms where they can be actively engaged and motivated to the point that they will even look forward to your next as you teach. As you show them the instructions, even in a video, you can be asking questions. Like today, and we're getting our feedback real time, whether they were right there in the class with us or not, but for the reason that we were connected online, we were getting it. And at the end of the lesson, you just drop a quiz, a Google quiz, or send the Quizlets to them, and they give you feedback immediately. Over 10, and you give them some emojis to celebrate performances, and there we have it. Community, you're teaching, you're making impact. Then you also have personalized learning experience. We have the, naturalistic learner. You can configure their engagement persona into whatever worksheet you have for them. Because they are divided into different multiple intelligences, the child will thrive because you are not restricting him or her to a type of intelligence that is not his or her strength. And by doing that, you have given that child a personalized learning experience. And because of this engagement, you as a teacher, positive impact again, you are able to get data-driven instructions and analytics. You get information, okay, this child is doing well in this topic, is doing well in that one, is not doing well in this one. You'll be able to create, target-based work plans and lesson plans for these children that will attend to their individualistic needs or weaknesses. Then development of digital skills and literacy. As they continue using these platforms, they get better at it. They get more engaged, and then they get to learn more and more and more. Just like you, the teacher. We agree, practice makes perfect. So now that you are using technology as a teacher, you can see for yourself, distraction of the children in the class has drastically reduced. Cyberbullying and online concerns will be taken care of if there are policies put on ground to take care of that. Then teacher training and support challenges will also be taken care of. Addiction and decreased physical activity will also be taken care of. So by doing such, you see that you are making progress, you're maximizing the use of technology in your school, for yourself, for your students, for your teachers, and for the community. So where do we focus more? We can see that EdTech has improved student achievement and outcomes. Yes, student achievement and outcome. Do you know, even in our school here, when children go home, what do? We quickly engage them on the online classroom so that as soon as they are out of the school area, it does not mean that they have stopped learning. We give them the platform to catch up from home until they come back to school and continue their physical contact. EdTech supports teacher CPD. It means it supports continuous professional development of teachers. If it can get the attention of the students, it should also get your own attention. And you keep improving yourself. I wasn't like this back then in 2020 during the COVID. I have improved. I have come a long way. And it has also reduced educational costs and improved efficiency. How? You don't have to, it's not everything you print again. It's not everything you have to go buying textbooks. All the internet has an innumerable supply of resources for you. The previous person, Oaks, just gave us her reference of where she got her information from. There are 1,000,001 references where you can get all this, and then to reduce your cost, you don't have to print, you don't have to go pay for research and stuff like that. Then EdTech has also increased your student motivation and participation, and it has made available this technology to diverse population. We can see that one of us in the early years sec has been saying that I am a rural teacher, I'm a rural teacher. It means that he is making education available to diverse population. Yes, you may be in the city, you're making it available to those that can afford. How about those that are in the rural areas or coming from less privileged homes? Thank God for even the federal government and colleges. The government is really taking the ICT seriously, and things are working for them. They are getting training, their teachers, and they are competing perfectly with other schools that are even in the private sector. So at this point, is my internet hanging? At this point, I'll be rounding up. I wanted to give us a few ideas from the future that we are going to be having a lot of AIs, a lot of virtual reality, a lot of mobile apps that will be helping us to advance in our technology drive as teachers. So I'll encourage us not to give up. Most schools are now using smartphones and smart tablets, smart boards. A lot of things are going on. In short, recently, even in our own school, because of the advance of EdTech, the robotics, is an NGO that is trying to get our children engaged in a robotic field, and if they continue with all these aspects, they will go for international competitions, not only national competitions. So let's make ourselves available for all these opportunities. Let's make our children available to enjoy these opportunities. We have the AI, we have gamification, we have social learning platforms. Even the LinkedIn is a social learning platform. It's an edtech for us teachers, because what our coach
Yeah.
Raina is right now, she's pulling us together using social platforms like this LinkedIn, so that we can really, really maximize the use of EdTech. And why are we in this meeting right now? It's because of EdTech. And then we are all enjoying adaptive learning and personalized instructions. So let's give it up for EdTech. We are doing well and we can keep doing better. Thank you very much. God bless you, everyone.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you very
much.
much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am Lena. Every point was accurate and on point. In fact, Mama Hina, I think we should do a LinkedIn for teachers testimonial one of all these days, or what we call testimony nights. We'll just come together and start giving our LinkedIn for teachers testimony. I think you should consider that.
Um,
Thank you, Marlena.
let me
Thank
keep
you
quiet
so
on
much.
that. Let me keep
Okay,
quiet on that.
thank you, Ma. So EdTech has come to stay. It's not something that I would say, okay, it's just for a 10-year period, after which we'll go back to normal. No, no, no. We're moving forward. And from what we can see, EdTech has come to stay. There's no going back. In fact, we are advancing. I think some 5, 6 years ago, the only search engines we were familiar with was, let's say, Google, and a few others. I think Wiki was there to give us updates, Opera, but now we have a whole lot of AIs that we can get infos from. So EdTech has come to stay, and EdTech is advancing. So if you're a teacher here, don't feel, oh, let me just stay let me just stay on the fence. I can't adapt. You can adapt. I tell you, you can adapt. In my state of residence, some years back, when the governor came in, he was trying to redefine the education system. So he made edutech something of importance in classes, and teachers they were kind of shying away from it, that we can't do this, we can't use computers in classes. But I think as at this year, they're adapting, and they're adapting so well. So edtech has come to stay. If you are a student here, I think we should also share testimony of ChatGPT, Gemini, and all of that. So again, edtech has come to stay. Okay, so we're having our last speaker for today. I hope we have been learning a thing or two. If you've been learning, can you give me a thumbs up? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And give
No.
every facilitator here tonight a thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I see you, I see you, I see your hands. Thank you. So we're having our last speaker for today. But before then, if you have questions, yes, we'll be having a session for questions. Every question you can think on EdTech. If we can't answer it, thank God our coach is here tonight. She's not only just here. She's here as, should I say, the infinite wisdom we have tonight. So we're having questions and answers. If you have a question, just start preparing it down. We are here for you. Okay. Last speaker for tonight is teacher Michael Fatola. He has a solid academic degree in physics, an MSc in physics and material sciences, complemented by a Bachelor of Science in Physics and a postgraduate degree in education. He brings a wealth of expertise to the field of education as a licensed educator under the Teacher Registration Council of Nigeria, and currently serving as an Education Officer 1 at the Kwara State Teaching Commission. He's passionate about fostering learning environments that empower students. His career spans roles in both online and traditional classroom settings, where he specializes in physics and mathematics. Wow, physics and mathematics, aligned with the Cambridge and British curriculum. He's proud to have achieved 100% success with students in the West African Examination Council and Nigeria Examination Council too, reflecting commitments to academic excellence and student success. Beyond education, he is dedicated to promoting sustainability as an SDG climate change ambassador, integrating these principles into teaching and inspiring the next generation to be conscientious global citizens. So again, with a clapping, a resounding clapping ovation, let's welcome teacher Michael Fatola. Over to you, sir.
Thanks for having me here. It's so great and a great honor to be among the highlights of the academic world here in Nigeria. My appreciation goes to our coach. It's been a wonderful time. Honestly, I like to work behind the scene, and thank you for this. I hope you can hear me, please. How
Yes.
come?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I can hear
Yeah.
you.
All right, thanks so much.
Yes, we
Now
can hear
I
you.
am to just do a recap. Honestly, everything I plan to say here, everything have been matched together. And luckily enough, my own is just to do a summary of everything that I've said earlier. Let me start. You see, prospect of EdTech in secondary school. So that's the segment I'm going to be looking at. And by now, we have said this cannot be overemphasized now. The EdTech prospect of EdTech cannot be overemphasized like we have had that earlier because something happened to me yesterday. And I think our team here can bear me witness a meeting that we have scheduled that okay, we are going to start. I was even the one that started the class and the meeting. I said it's about time for us to start. And as I was dropping it, then this network issue of it came up. I was even saying jokingly, I said I thought it's only a grid, power grid that used to collapse. I don't know that there used to be a network grid collapse. So at the end of the day, even when the meeting was over for about an hour, that was when my whole message was getting in. And I was like, they are just saying, let's start. So that is how powerful EdTech can be. We cannot overemphasize it. And this thing is just to help us out and see how we can improve on our, you know,
Wow. Sir, I think you're muted.
I want to mention here that, hello,
Yes, go
can
on.
you hear me, ma?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
sir.
Yes, I hear you now.
Hello,
Hi, I
I
can
hope
hear
I'm
you
still
now.
audible, please. Please
You
let me know.
are. You are.
Hello, am I still audible here?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Hello, can you still hear me, please?
Please
Mr.
go
Mike,
on. We can hear you.
We're hearing him. Maybe he can't hear us.
I
Hello,
think
can you still hear me?
Prince,
we
can
can
you
hear
please
you loud and clear. We can hear you loud and clear.
can you chat him up privately?
Oh, okay.
Hello, I hope I'm still audible, please.
You
Yes, you
are.
are.
Miss Prince, can you please
Go on,
ring him
please,
up?
Mr. Michael. Go on.
Hello, can I go ahead, please? Can I move
Yes,
ahead?
Yes,
go
Yes, sir.
please.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
ahead.
All right. Okay. Sorry. So now we are looking at the prospect, and the first one I'm going to talk about
That's
here is
your slides are gone.
all right. Let me reshare, please.
Go check and help.
Yeah.
Let me be sure, please.
Okay, sir.
How about now? Is it coming up?
No, it's not. I think you stopped sharing your screen.
I hope it's coming up, please.
Uh,
Not yet, please.
All right. Now we
okay.
are looking at some of the prospects we have in the EdTech world. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is that it gives us a personalized instruction and pacing. Now look at if you have like adaptive assessment, the EdTech world will give us a chance to give our students to be able to assess our student progress at any point in time, like using a platform like Kahoot or the Quizlet through quizzes. Like now, previous speaker have said this. He says something like, if you give some of my students now, I have this experience with my students. What some of them now, especially the current set of people I'm having now in my year 12, some of them they are so used to this world of crypto now. I don't know why it's coming at this time. And I have a challenge with them. They are so conversant with it and they are good in it. So I look at it that how will I engage these people? And I know that the only solutions to the problem I'm having at hand now is to fully involve EdTech in order to distract them. So what I actually do is that I will now I organize a lot of quizzes for them. I crop the link and I know that those things will really take their times, and instead of them doing something that can distract them in their academics, then this EdTech of a thing now is now helping now up, because I know if you give them in form of gamification in quizzes, they know that definitely I'm following their and I'm monitoring their score. And anybody that do less, that means when we meet the following day, so it has given us a edge in making our students to be more to concentrate more on their academic achievement rather than some other thing for now that they don't need. So also another thing I want to talk about here is that it helps students in collaborative. If you want, you can give a student a project to, or let's say an assignment to do now. They know that there is a platform for them to relate together. They can go, instead of some of them now they will be say I don't have a senior brother, I don't have a younger brother, I don't have a younger sister. But through this EdTech, you see that they can work collaboratively and you see them talking at times maybe through the links that we have given to them, like their Google Classroom. They can ask questions, they can drop a questions and they can get a feedback. So those are some of the advantage from there. Now also, I'm rushing it because of our times. Then I also look at it that it's not that EdTech is only empowering our students, it's also empowering with the teachers as well. It make us to get our lesson plan. You know, you have access to some of the, not only that you are limited to your textbook that is available to you, you have access to some digital libraries where you can get materials to plan your lesson and all that. Then also data driven for you to have your analytic tools to measure student progress. You can check and checkmate them. You can look at how is their performance yesterday, how is their performance today, how are they moving up. It empower we as the teachers also in this work. So there are so many other ones. It can also aid collaboration. Look at what we are doing now. There are things for me to even come up and do something like this. If you're having a kind of problem somewhere, you can easily collaborate with other teachers, other educators around you. And this one, some things that you think this is not achievable, you just see someone give you a clue, and before you know it, the problem is solved. Then it's also increased productivity. This is increased productivity. So, and lastly, here, let me also discuss this, that this one will give an expanding access to education resources. Expanding access, I've mentioned that earlier. There's something like online courses, when you can take some courses. Some of us now, if you are if you want, somebody like me now, I have interest in taking something like data analysis, and every other outlet that I've gone to, what they are charging is somehow, I just look at it. There are some of these courses online. Why don't you just take them, and with the link you are good to go. Some of them are even available freely. I think last week when I was somehow less busy, I have to obtain like two certification like that, just by in the four corners of my room. And this have afforded us EdTech of a things. It has a prospect, and we know that it has a future. Now it's also give us virtual libraries. I've said that before. You have unlimited access to materials and resources that you may talk about. But what about remote learning? What about remote learning? So like one of our speaker have said tonight, that it takes some students even in abroad. You are here in Nigeria and you can relate and you can deliver a lecture or a lesson to a student abroad. Then these are what we stand to gain by EdTech in secondary school. And I highlighted here that we have emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, virtual realities, and other cutting technologies that will continue to transform educational landscape. Then we also have personalized learning platform like I've mentioned earlier, like Khan Academic, then collaborative ecosystem. These are the futures that is going to give to us, that I can, with a tip of my hand, I can just relate with a teacher, an educator in Port Harcourt. Here I'm in Kwara State here now. I can just relate with them. This and this, let's look at this together. I have a class to do. Even at the sports, you have whatever you want to do. You can share an idea together, and it's a good way to move forward and to improve an academic performance. And statistics have this, that even some of these tools that we are talking about, that 20% have increased participation. There are some of the things that normally under normal circumstances, some of our students, some of them, they will not open up to you. But some of these materials, since you drop them for them, that they have a link for it, they study it at their own space, and it indirectly or directly now is improving their participation. They can ask questions on their own, not minding that, oh, if I should ask some other questions, like some of us now, if we are in class, even when we are discussing some things and it seems that we are not getting it, some of the students may feel somehow low, having a kind of low self-esteem. They will not be able to embrace EdTech. They can ask their question on their own performance in their various examination. Then this is also preparing future for our students. Through all these things that we are introducing them to. Some of us, if you have known this several years back, we know where we'll be now. Some of us are just learning this thing, but some of these students, they are just fortunate that we, as their teachers presently now, we are introducing them to ed tech world now. And as they embrace it, By the time they will come to the realistic world of their own now, they know that they have learned a lot and they find it easy to leverage through. So there are many points under this, but I just know that I think we need to embrace it, and there is a lot of prospect in EdTech world and in our secondary school education in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Teacher Michael. Thank you for this points. Thank you for lending your voice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You see, education and technology, it's a very powerful combo. Yeah. Okay, if you're Nigerian here and you're conversant with the Gen Z Nigerian language, na collabo. Education and technology is a very powerful combo. And with technology in education, our education system can become 10 times better. So, EdTech is something we should embrace. Teacher Michael said something. He said he was at home, was in the last week, he was just at home, he was bored, wanting to do something, and EduTech came to the rescue. He went online, took 2 courses, and got certified, all because of EdTech. So imagine there was no technology in education. He would have to wait, maybe go through the stress of registering in a university, have a, let's say, 4 to 8 month program, do a lot of things just to learn and acquire those certificates. But because of this beautiful collabo, in a space of how many days or how many hours, he learned 2 skills and got 2 certificates. So maximize the EdTech space. It has come to stay. I feel like saying, say to your neighbor, maximize EduTech. Can you type it in the chat box if you're still here? Say, maximize EduTech. I want to see it. Come on. If you are still here, say to a neighbor on the chat box. You can even call a name. I want to see it. Say, maximize EdTech. Let's see it. Let's see it. Keep it coming. Yes, some thought online learning was not real, but now it's a thing. It has come to stay and it's not going anywhere. The collabo is strong. The collabo between education and technology is a strong one. We are not losing the relationship anytime soon. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I see our comments. So now I know we have gotten value from this session. Yes, ma'am. LinkedIn for teachers, maximize EdTech. We'll do just that. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so we're moving on to our question and answer segments. Drum roll. So if you have questions about EduTech, you want clarity on something, maybe you didn't get what any of the speakers said earlier, over to you. You can just raise up your hand. You just signify by raising up your hand. Okay, okay. Mr. Oni, all right, over to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ma, for every information that has been disseminated tonight. I must say that I've got quite a lot of values and I appreciate everything. In the course of the meeting, I sent a message to the chat group that if we can have access to the recording, which I will so much appreciate. And apart from that, when Madam Oaks, let me put it that way, was rounding up our class, she mentioned something about resources, or I don't know. So I would like to have get that name again. So that is my question. I've gained a lot, being an online uh, teacher tutor myself. Uh, this opportunity has also opened me up to quite a lot of areas where I don't even uh, imagine. So I'm grateful. So I would love to have the recording and the acknowledgement of Madam Oaks. I think when she was rounding up, she mentioned where she got the resources and things like that. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, sir. For the recording, it will be made available. You could also, for quick access to the recording, you could just follow Ma'am Rahina on YouTube because you could subscribe to her YouTube channel. We're putting the link. Ma'am, please, can you help us with the link? We're putting the link on the chat box. The link to her YouTube channel, it will be made available there. So you can always go back to it. Okay, Teacher Oaks, please.
Yes, hello. Yeah, I'll type that. I'll type that on the chat, please. I will do that.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
You're
Any other
welcome.
question, please? Anybody? You can just signify by raising up your hand. Okay. Mamlena, I see your hands raised. Over to you.
Okay, it's not a question, but maybe it will encourage somebody, especially some of these our visitors that came to join us tonight, although some have left already. You can see that despite the challenges that I faced today, for example, in short, throughout this week, in short, me, I went to work 7 days a week this week because I was at work yesterday, I was at work today, and I came in just less than an hour. I was able to prepare the slides I just used now. I did not pretend them earlier on. It was until I came back. I now started working on those slides and I still was able to present it tonight in less than an hour. So if not for EdTech, it wouldn't have been possible. So that's what I want to say, that we as teachers, we should really, really maximize this EdTech, and then we don't have any excuse. As long as we have that 30 minutes, 40 minutes, we can still maximize that and get the job done. More grace to all of us teachers.
Okay, thank you
Thank
so much,
you.
Ma. Thank you for that beautiful contribution. Okay, the link to Mama Hina's YouTube channel is on the chat box. You could just click subscribe, like. If I were you, I'll run there. Aside from today's webinar, we have a lot there. As a teacher, as a student, there's a lot there to learn. There's a whole lot, trust me. So if I were you, I'll hurry down to subscribe so I can always get access to the juicy edu videos and more. Okay, and Mr. Oni, Teacher Oaks just shares pasted the site she spoke about earlier. It's on the chat box too. Okay, do we have any other question? Any other? You're welcome, Ma.
Yeah,
Any other
sorry.
question?
Sorry, I also want to buttress what he
Okay.
just said now.
Uh,
You know, I think even two of us, we spoke not up to 20 minutes back, and I told you that even I was unable to get what I'm preparing for. So, and for me to start using PowerPoint to get, I just
mm,
have to embrace the EdTech. I said, you want to talk about EdTech, then there should be something you can do. So I just went
mm,
on a particular site called Gamma. So it was there. I just picked it. Another 5 to 2 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes, I'm done. And that is what you see that I presented. So we cannot overemphasize the importance and the why we have to embrace it. In order, so that's what I'm just trying to put on here. So we
okay.
have to just step the game up and embrace it in a different world of classroom. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Please, if you can just post the site on the chat box, we'll appreciate that. The site you just spoke about, we'll really appreciate that. Do we have any
All
more
right,
questions?
I'll do that.
So as a teacher,
Sorry,
embrace EdTech. Okay.
um, can I also ask that some of these links and resource materials be used can be posted on our WhatsApp platform as well?
Okay, ma'am.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. All right. To be posted on the WhatsApp platform and this chat box too. So as a teacher, maximize EdTech. Be a teacher in tech. Okay. Be a teacher in tech. There's something Coach Rahina will always say. Make Canva your friend. Start from Canva. Canva is it's techy too for designs as maybe you want to just do something for your students to increase their learning span. You could make Canva your to go body. Canva is your friend. Make Canva your friend. Be a teacher in tech. Don't leave tech for the other people. Be a teacher in tech. The way the teaching profession is evolving, it's no longer business as usual. And since it's no longer business as usual, we have to evolve with it. So be a teacher in tech. Do we have any other question? So Michael, you want to say something? Your hands are raised. Okay, who again? Who again? Miss Deborah, if your hands are raised, you could go ahead and speak. Okay.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening,
This is
sir.
Amakri Danagogo. Yes,
Good evening, sir.
my very sad, the sad one. My team could not make the presentation, but it was due to certain challenges we had. However, I want to really commend the presentation that was done this evening. I really learned a lot from it, and I just want to add my voice to it that EdTech is something that every teacher in this dispensation must embrace. Particularly for me,
Yeah.
I have really leveraged on it. Particularly, I use AI teacher app and Chat GPT, especially when I had to go down being a teacher in a rural community, primary three, where you find out that some of them, the normal curriculum you have is not even, if you want to stick to it, you will not be doing justice to what you are called for. So you have to go down there, put up certain questions that will now get me to address them from the very foundation. And those things,
Mr.
most of them,
Danagogo,
you
I
don't even
think
get it from textbook.
your network is low, or is it mine?
Hello, am I clear now?
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Where
Yes,
from my
sir.
end you are. From my
Okay.
end you are.
Okay.
Probably it's my network.
Okay. So, and I had to go down there, and knowing that I was just integrated formally less than a year into the teaching profession, the formal teaching profession, where you know the system requires that you need to get your lesson notes. The emphasis on lesson notes, particularly in public schools, is even more than the impact you're making in classes, which as a person I find very strange and not correct. But however, while I'm preparing the lesson notes, I had to prepare the lesson notes in a realistic form, and that requires that I would have to do away with some of these textbooks and then go down to the very foundation of how to, the same way I communicate to the learners is the same way, and it is only EdTech that can help me in that regard. Because if I go to the textbooks believes that the learners should have learned something before coming to that level where they are placed, but in reality they have not. So EdTech has done so much good to me and is still doing, and I'm still exploring. And that is why once I see teachers that are tech savvy, I just try my best to align with them, even though I'm not catching up. I still try to advance and learn. So I'm just adding my voice to it that EdTech, this particular presentation, this your team have done is superb. It's a very timely one, and whatever way it can be preserved and re-echoed for us to follow, then it should be done. That is just my contribution. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your contribution. Okay, do we have any other questions or contributions?
Miss Deborah is
Miss
here. I
Deborah.
think her hands are
Oh,
raised. Miss Janet's hands are raised also.
okay. All right, ma'am. Miss Deborah.
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity. Good evening, everyone. My name is Anulu
Good evening.
Abodibura. Question goes towards I can say I am just like very new to the teaching profession, and coming here to hear all of these things are just like wow, wow, wow. All right, so I just have a few questions. And the very first question is this: where I work currently, because I just graduated without certificate, I just had to like get somewhere to start working. There are smart, like there are TVs in the class, but I never had the opportunity to use it once. Even I was just like, okay, when you are talking about presentations, I'm like, okay, when I create these slides, where am I going to use it? I'm just like, okay, thank you, but I don't really know how well to maximize this. But my question goes on is, I don't have the opportunity to like use all of these things in the classroom. I don't have the opportunity to do some things, but how can I still ensure that I stay abreast with all these technological knowledge? I have this knowledge, and how can I use it when I don't have the opportunity to use it in classroom? I don't know if you get my question.
Okay, if I got your question correctly, you currently do not have the opportunity to um use tech in a classroom, but
Ye-
you are a teacher that wants to remain in tech, right?
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Okay. Okay. I'll love Miss um teacher Oaks. Can you please help us?
Okay, thank you very much. Now, am I heard, please?
Yes, ma'am, you are on
Okay,
air.
so thank you for that question. Now, my words to you are those of encouragement. Now, where you are today is where you stay and prepare for where you want to see yourself tomorrow. Let me give you a typical example. In my earlier years of teaching, I happened to be in a school. In that school, the school was quite an elite school, but at its growing stage. So what happened is that in that school, at that point in time, we had just one projector. So if you want to use it, you go and sign for it, and they will tell you all sorts. It is in your care. If anything happens, all those blah blah blah. Yeah, but the thing is that you might want to use it, and another teacher is also using it. So what did I do? Because I was enthusiastic. I know where I want to see myself tomorrow, and I know I needed to build myself. So what I did was, just one time like that, a teacher came in and he was hired from the UK, and he came down with this projector. Honestly, I felt intimidated because using his own personal projector, it is with him anytime he wants to use it, and he was arresting the learner's attention. I approached him. I said, "Guy, please, how do you get this?" He told me how much, and they said, "Oh, I can't really afford it now, but can I pay you instrumentally?" He said, "That's fine." So, okay, when next you're going on holiday to the UK, can you just help me get? And another colleague of mine keyed into that, and that's it. The guy went on holiday, coming home, he got the projector. And when I started using it, that was when I digitized all my work. I used my summer holiday to all my notes and everything. I changed into PowerPoint. And I became a source of attraction and a point of reference in the school. Now, did I wait for the school to do it for me? No, because I knew where I wanted to see myself tomorrow, which is what I'm experiencing now. I invested in online professional development. I did not wait for the school to pay for me. Honestly, the school paid for me in so many areas. They paid for me, but I also paid for myself just to build myself. And as God will have it, today, I normally choose where I want to work. So I'm telling you, what you're learning today, you're investing in yourself for your own better tomorrow. If you wait till you get to a place where you have the facilities and the real edutech to start practicing, you might be left behind unless you want to remain where you are now. I'm happy with you because you are enthusiastic. You want to learn. So immerse yourself in your own professional development. Set your eyes on where you want to be tomorrow and then work as if you are going there. Thank you. I hope it makes sense.
Wow, thank you so much, ma'am. Miss Debbie,
Um, Miss Deborah, one more thing. Look for a mentor in your school and outside of your school. Two mentors. One mentor outside of your school that will keep telling you what is going on outside of your school, something things that you can do that are not done in your school. Then somebody in the school that can show you the ropes. Because why are they not allowing you use, or why are you not using the smart TV? Is it because you're new? Is it because you're not trusted with it, or you don't trust yourself, or you don't know what to do? So you need somebody that has been there that can mentor you. Find somebody that has been there for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, that you know is doing something really well, that can mentor you in with it to tell you the workings of the school. Then find somebody outside of the school to mentor you also. These two things, once you can get these two mentors, I bet you in the next 2 years, you'll be something else.
oh, thank you so much, Coach Rahina. Thank you.
Thank you
Miss
so much.
Debbie, are you satisfied with the answers? I guess you are.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma.
Any other question, please? Let's say one or two.
I
Do we have
raised
any
my
hands?
hand.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. All right, it's Janet. Over to you.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Once again.
Good evening, ma'am.
Um, yeah, I want to say a big thank you to everyone that has participated, and also for our invited guest. Thank you for having us. Thank you for coming around. We appreciate you. A quick one. I just want to, during the presentation, I just thought of sensitization on this edutech, because most public school teachers, I must say, they are not aware of this. They still make use of the analog, and the world is digitalized now. So I think there is need for us to sensitize our colleague at work, in our community, so that they will all be aware of this. Because once what we don't know, I think ignorance is inevitable. And because these days now, I remember in the first quarter of the year, I was just going through my phone, and I just saw one of the advertisements for MTN, and this organized by SEAL Innovative Lab. So I just, I don't know what to do then. Just okay, let me just do this thing. I don't even know what it entails. Okay, let me give it a trial. Then we participated. 40,000 applicants, applied. And for the first phase, it was 4,000 that qualified all over the 36 states. And I
Wow.
was opportune to go to the next phase. And we are at the next phase now, and we'll be doing the graduation latest by ending of this month. And since I have joined, I must tell you, my this is an eye opener. In fact, even at work, people see me, you know, it was when I was running my master's that I was totally with my computer. So, but these days, people see me with computer. We are given assignment. You must meet up. I don't know how to do this animation, use legend, doing shorts, and with this edutech, it has really opened my eyes, because you cannot say you want to do something and people will expect, and you expect people to say, okay, still go and do it in analog way. No, when you want to say,
Mm.
okay, I'm doing this, okay, say yourself, let's see what you have done, and there's nothing for you to reference it out. This will this will not speak well. Then also teachers and making lesson notes. These days now we make use of textbook, but due to EdTech now, you can just prepare your lesson notes and lesson plan on the on your system, and there are so many platforms that you can do that. When you put in the topic, it will help you to translate that lesson in such a way that you, the teacher, will first understand. After you understood, then you can now pass it across to your learners, because learners too, they are also inquisitive to learn at a very fast way. So that is just it. That's my contribution. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Ma. That's a beautiful one. And congratulations on making it to the next phase of your training. Thank you. We hope to see pictures from your graduation too. Okay, one last question, please. Anybody? I think I saw a
Yes,
hand
from
raised up
Amakri
earlier.
Danagogo.
Oh,
Amakri
okay.
Danagogo. I have a question. In the light of the current epileptic power supply in Nigeria and the cost of powering generating plants to get light for some of these appliances, how does an edutech teacher navigate, say, possibly, okay, let's say, are there projectors that are rechargeable, appliances that are rechargeable? They may be in existence. I don't know. Can we also have the privilege of sharing some of these gadgets, particularly the rechargeable ones that you can power then use for a period? My question.
All right.
I don't know if I'm understood.
Yeah. Sorry,
Okay,
I don't know.
teacher Michael, I think you want to say something.
All right. Yes. My question is this: Is it to is
Oh,
the question directed to your own personal application now, or to the school as a whole? Because if it is to your own, maybe there is a class you want to engage your student in, and you want to do that at the comfort of your home. I think there are many ways out of that. So I want to know.
Okay. Okay, let me clarify. Um, okay, I'm using myself as a case study now, particularly being a village teacher. I think I was a village teacher that was being referenced some during the section of the presentation. Now, this edutech approach to teaching is not something that is even some private schools have not really embraced it. Come to talk of public schools, and not just public school in city centers, public school in rural areas where some of this electrification does not even get to. Now, doing it is like you stand to face so many oppositions. But what I'm saying is, as a person, irrespective of the challenges in my environment, I want to stand out. Anybody that feel okay and see it as a good worthwhile thing can align with me. We share the vision, but I don't want to stop. So I'm looking at, can I get, are there facilities that are rechargeable that as a person I can use, not from the home, in the school there?
All right. I
That
think.
is what I'm asking.
All right.
I don't know if it's understood now.
Yes, yes, I understand you now. So, but I will just advise, because, like myself, I have the same experience, especially even at home here. And so many a times I engage my students late, deep late in the night like this. But when I first started, I knew that my laptop, I will have charged it fully and all that. But along the line, I now see that the laptop is no longer sustainable. So I have to step a little further to get something like ring light. The ring light, I also charge it with power bank. So this, they are a little, it's not as if they are not cost effective. It will take you it will involve a kind of a little spending. But then, like, so I'm taking myself as a sample. So along the line, I now see that this one is no longer sustainable. So I have to get a small solar gadget that can at least power me for some times. So, and as the times goes by, I improve it. As I'm having it now, at least my solar power can take me for, if not for throughout the night, at least to some an extent that I no longer complain about power supplies. What I want to just bring out here is start small. Start with power bank. Some of these gadgets you can plug them to power bank and it will work. So if power bank is no longer sustainable, at least you have started, you have achieved something, and through that, you see that even when students embrace it in your own little way, you see that there will be help and there will be a way out. But just look at the area of solar power. It's not compulsory that it should be the biggest one for a start. You can start with the small one, then later you improve it. So that's my own contribution from here.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you
Okay,
so
thank
much.
you very much.
Okay, does anybody wants to contribute to this question? Any
Yeah,
tips to help?
Mr. Nagogo.
Okay.
I think I understand what you're trying to say. You need to project some stuff sometimes, and then there is power outage. You don't have enough light, specifically for the what's it called, projector now. I don't know of any projector for now that you can power. Okay, but for now, plan your lessons around how you can use a laptop in case you don't have enough electricity for the projector. Then try to get a laptop that doesn't have a small screen. I know these days everybody's using the smart laptop that has a smaller screen. I think is it 10 inches or 12 inches? But apart from that, myself, I'm still the analog type. I still have the big one that is, I think, 15 inches, like there's almost like TV, as wide as TV. Why? Because there are times, because I also volunteer in a village, and there is no electricity in that particular village, and the school doesn't have generator, so I have to use the laptop. So I charge it from home, and I use it showing them the video, or mostly I try to use picture, a group, group per group. Then for video, I tell them to be really quiet while they listen. So talking as a village teacher too, like you, that's what I'm trying to say. Try to do it like that gradually before you can afford this small generator, and then or something like that. That's what I would advise for now. But I don't know of any rechargeable um, projector. If there's going to be, it's going to be really expensive. And then I don't know if there's a power bank for those projectors also. I know that there's power bank for laptops, so you can look for those. I don't know how much it will cost, but I'm sure it's quite expensive too. So talking about what I do. You can try it and see if that is okay. Mr. Granagoko, are you okay?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you very
You're
much, ma'am.
welcome. Please praise.
Thank you. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Teacher Michael. Thank you so much. So, with this, we have come to the end of this webinar, and I feel like crying right now. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much, Coach Rahina. Special shout outs to you. Thank you for all you do for us at LinkedIn for Teachers. We appreciate. And to every member of Group 3, thank you so much. I believe we want to say thank you to the house, to Sir Michael, Ma'am Oaks, Ma'am Janet, Ma'am Lena. Are we still here?
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm glad I made it
Uh,
tonight.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank you
for
so much.
help me say thank you. Help me say thank you to my network. Oh.
Thank you to your network. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yes, Miss Sandra, the recording will be made available. The link is on the chat box. Click on the YouTube link, subscribe, please, and the recording will be made available at most tomorrow, I guess so. You could always follow up. Again, thank you. We enjoyed doing this with you. Thank you so much, everyone. And let's do this again and again and again and again.
Thank
Mm,
you to our
Have an
thank you
amazing night
too.
stretch.
moderator. You are
Bye. Thank
superlative.
you.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Have
Bye,
an amazing night
everyone.
stretch.
Thank you, Coach. You're super.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mama.